This is a jungle. It's filled with plants. And this is a Terrarian. He normally doesn't care or want anything to do with these plants. Oh, but today we are going to force him to survive with nothing but plants. Welcome to today's challenge. Can you beat Terraria with only plants? There will be a few ground rules for this challenge. First, all weapons and armors must come directly from plants or plant materials. If it is not from a plant, you cannot use it, unless the weapon clearly has plantiness on its design. Second, all accessories must either look like they come from plants, must be a plant, or must have plant-related components in their crafting or combinations. Third and final, in order to ensure a proper amount of progression can be made in this challenge, all tools are on the table. There are only 4 to 6 plant-like accessories in the game, so if the accessory is planty in design, color, or comes from a plant, then it is legal. This also applies to weapons. So, with the challenge laid out, let's get right into it. So how does one start a challenge like this? Aside from breaking some trees and just getting a basic workbench, the goal now is to get cactus armor, a cactus pickaxe, a cactus sword, and a guide to plant fiber coordination, or whatever the f*** it's called. Now why would we need that? Well, we can't use rope, it's not made out of a plant. So, we have to use vine rope, which is gotten from that stupid book. We can't progress to the left because we're blocked by a giant tree, and we have no pickaxe. We deleted it because we know we can get a better one at the start, one made entirely out of a plant. We swing it on over to the right and are blessed with a desert. So we take advantage of this, chopping down everything Mother Nature has to offer. It does not take long for the game to remind us that we are not allowed to have any fun at all. Please, I just want some of the cactus. Oh! After being forcibly evicted from the desert, we make ourselves a cactus workbench, sword, and pickaxe and head back over to the sandy dunes. Immediately after hearing that we booked another trip to procure ourselves some more cactus, these little flying purple fucks make their intentions well known. They want us the fuck out of their desert, and they will stop at nothing until we are ripped completely to shreds. Bruh. How the fuck am I supposed to get anything done? Hey man, you didn't have to invite your friends to the Go Fuck Me Fest. Oh, 4. Just fucking fantastic. Just fucking fantastic. I am dead. The game has us scrounging for one singular piece of cactus. Anything we could get would be nice at this point, but we can barely get anything. Every millisecond, another one of these flying purple bastards continually spawns in, trying to ruin our mood. Alright guys, don't forget he's back. Let's all gangbang him. Let's go fucking gangbang him. We can do this. We're almost there. We just need a little bit more cactus. Never mind. We decided it's time to take a small break from that disgusting corrupt biome. It would be less than ideal than to get another flying phallus shoved down our throat or a worm up our anus. It's not like we can see anything in the middle of the night anyway, so it's best that we just build a small shack to get ourselves set up in. At least now we can wait out the night and not have to be harassed by zombies 24/7. Come daybreak, we're back at it again, trying to avoid the flying little hemorrhoids and getting as much cactus as we can. We've chopped every single cactus that this desert has to offer, and we're just a little short. We cannot make the goddamn boots. With this disappointment fresh in our head, we decide to clear it out by going for some mining. A life crystal and some better tools would certainly help turn our sour mood right around. We bash our prickly pickaxe into every ore and crystal that we can find. We continue to mine away and pray that we can find a chest with something of value in it. A magic mirror or a plant green pair of Hermes boots would be life-changing, but alas, we are left with nothing and head back up empty-handed. After concluding our mining, we go to the left side of our world. We find a wooden stool. It's made out of wood. Wood comes from plants. Our first legal accessory has been acquired. Our heart is filled with joy, now knowing that we can go up 1 extra block whenever we want. This is surely the start to something absolutely magnificent. This is further proven when we go farther to the left and we find more cactus, another desert, guarded by a few zombies that do not want us to make a single ounce of progression. However, we swiftly take care of them, and then we go back to extracting the world's resources and depleting all of the natural cactuses that have ever spawned on this world. By our complete choice, completely made by us and not influenced by any outside decisions, we decide to go home, and then we make our final piece of armor, the cactus legs, which will now give us a beautiful full set of cactus armor and a set bonus which allows us to prick our enemies that try to kill us. Oh ladies, yes, this is all natural cactus leather. With our full cactus loadout ready to unleash some planty mayhem, we dive back into the caves on the left side of the unregistered minecart freeway, collecting everything we can find. We ride on, finding ourselves lost in the underground desert, which is packed full of loot and resources. It is also filled with antlions who want nothing more than to remove our lungs, and rolling cactus which gain a single second of consciousness to form one single thought, which is to roll over us and put us 6 feet under. While exploring the underground desert, we find a magic conch, which will allow us to teleport to each side of our world, opening up our exploration possibilities greatly. It first takes us to the right side of our world, and we go to look and see what's on this side. It is evident that the corruption has made its way all the way over to the right side of the world because we instantly run into it. However, we do run into some nice items along the way by one single based big tree holding it off. We find the Wand of Sparking, which is a pretty awesome weapon to have at this point. We also find a flint staff, which clearly is made with sticks. So like, sure, there's a bird on it, but it's made from sticks. That's a plant. It comes from plants. Once it turns back to day, we swing it over to the left side of our world using the magic conch, hoping to run into more living trees or a jungle. A jungle would be really nice for our next stage of progression, but we do end up finding a maze of living trees. The first two chests we run into have absolute jack squat, aside from potions, which are always nice. However, on our third chest, it finally happens. We get the book for plant fiber coordination. Our second true accessory that we can really use. It can give us rope. We can now go cave diving even deeper since we won't have to rely on wooden platforms. We finish exploring the living tree, finding a juicy life crystal in the process, and continue our journey from the leftmost side of the world and run into the jungle. The jungle will be a true test if we can survive in this challenge because all of the plantiness that we really need will come from this area. So with all of that said, let us see what this next chapter in our journey has to offer us. Allow me to summarize the next 5 hours of gameplay in this entire chapter as a small slideshow for your viewing pleasure. Ready? Here we go. Extremely beautiful Anklet of the Wind, which clearly is made out of a plant or something, and it's plant green, so it counts. The most conveniently timed blood moon ever in the history of all of Terraria. A hornet straight from hell itself. Another hornet straight from hell itself. Yet another hornet straight from hell itself. Gorgeous ruby red life crystal. Spontaneously explode into 10 trillion pieces due to hornet-inflicted poison. Every flying mob and their mother invited to the Yove Great Gangbang session of 2025 during a blood moon. Spiked jungle slime and man-eater from hell. Life crystal and her simp boyfriend Hornet trying to prevent a man from succeeding in life. Apparently, I didn't get the memo and there was yet another Yove Great Gangbang session in store for us in the bottom of the jungle, this time with tons of spiked slimes and man-eaters. Apparently the rarest goddamn material in the jungle. Making a hasty getaway after realizing more mobs were jealous they weren't invited to the gangbang session. A piranha that's learned how to jump out of the water to snip our balls off and make sure that we have no fun in the jungle at all. How can they do that? Another Anklet of the Wind that we can at least use as a crafting material in the future for lightning boots. A shiny, smoking hot magic mirror, which we will definitely use a lot in this video. A band of regeneration, which we cannot use, so it will just be sold later. Finally finding more jungle spores. Finding even more jungle spores. A ton of jungle monsters ready to snap our neck off if we get too close and prevent us from going any deeper into the jungle. Getting spiked so hard it sends us back to our base. After being sent back home without consent, we have enough materials to craft our next plant item. The Ivy Whip, which is a hook that will greatly increase our mobility. With 3 hooks that can be shot at one time, this is honestly one of the most slept on hooks in the game and I absolutely love it. Anyways, let's continue. Another useless chest. Yet another useless chest. Spontaneous and brutal death. Useless chest number 873. Number 874. Possibly the most useful jungle accessory. A Beezor drops from a hornet, which will allow us to have immunity to poison. It's also plant green, so we can use it. Hooray. After marinating in the jungle for about 5 hours, we decide it's time to take a small break and take a look at what we can craft with all the items we've acquired. We make a blade of grass, thorn chakram, and 2 of the 3 armor pieces of the jungle armor, but we don't have enough for the chest plate, so we have to go back into it. Almost right away, we notice that these items are absolutely kicking ass, and all of the grinding is paying off, finally. And hey, I'll be quite honest, if this item was not absolutely destroying all of these jungle bastards, I think I might have lost my mind a little bit. While grinding out the rest of the materials that we need for the chest plate, we run into a pair of feral claws. This is pretty much the last accessory for pre-hard mode we can obtain within planty boundaries until the goblin tinkerer arrives. It is plant green, so it counts. We go back home and make a snapthorn, and now with all these materials we make the chest plate for the last piece of the jungle armor. As of now, we have elevated ourselves to tier 2 of plantiness on the plantiness scale. And with our new immaculate drip, we are now ready to start the next chapter of this video. The plan now is to break Shadow Orbs in hopes of obtaining a Vile Thorn and also make an Eater of Ass / Eye of Cthulhu arena. Even though we'd only go on to use the Vile Thorn for like 20 seconds, if even, we only get a stinky ass musket. We will also make an arena inside the corrupt caves and expand them with explosives so we can fight both the Eye of Cthulhu and the Eater of Ass. Before we can even consider expanding the arena any more than we wanted to, the Eye of Cthulhu decides to make a sudden guest appearance. This will be a test to see how far we've come, how much we can do, and how much we can achieve in this seed. The Eye makes sure to take full advantage of our lack of maxed on life crystal health bar and our severe and crippling lack of mobility to shove its retina right into our face and remove us from existence. We think back to earlier while we were mining and look at our map to notice there was a mushroom biome near one of the areas we stopped mining at. We're still on the hunt for those damn Hermes boots and to max our HP bar on the remaining life crystals. Imagine my disbelief when I found out anything we could have ever needed was a mere 10 blocks away from being mined when we were first mining at the start of the video. Not only was there just a pair of Hermes boots in plain sight, but also there was like 10 different life crystals just chilling in here, waiting for someone to stumble upon them. We finish our arena, throw up buff stations, and drink every single potion that we could find in our chest, and then we smash the last shadow orb to summon the Eater of Ass. The plan is to keep him curled up for as long as possible so that our Blade of Grass can do as much damage to him in his various segments. So we're going to use the knot and fold technique to try to curl him up like a little pretzel and do as much damage to all of his little segments at once as possible. This strategy is clearly working very well. Every time we cut off a segment of his wormy body, it usually drops a heart, which allows us to stay very healthy throughout the fight. We slice and dice until the Eater of Worlds is no more. We're quite relieved to see our hard work is paying off and that this challenge is actually quite playable. We smash another orb for that Vile Thorn that we wanted from earlier, and then we run up the Eye of Cthulhu because that Peeping Peeper is next in our chopping block. Whenever the Eye of Cthulhu gets close, we use our Blade of Grass and stick it directly into his retina. And whenever he runs away, we use our Thorn Chakram and throw it directly into his pupil so that he can experience that immense agitation feeling like whenever you get a grain of sand stuck into your eye. It does not take long for the Eye of Cthulhu to engage his Break It Down on the Dance Floor stage. We use every weapon we have in our arsenal to finally take down the flying bastard and get ourselves an epic gamer victory royale. With 2 dubs on our record, our morale is up, we are feeling the high, and we think we can take on the world. We swing it on over to the dungeon and make a small arena to fight the Bone Man. Our goal is now to challenge the Old Man Gunnar to a duel and a bone off to see who can bone the other harder. So yeah, we summon up the Bone Man and it's not even fucking close. Dude grabs us with his bony ass bone hands and then shoves us into one of the Old Man's glass jars. It's fucking cooked. After that crippling defeat, we wait for it and then defeat a goblin invasion, and then we go on the hunt for the Goblin Cuck. Our goal now is that we want to reforge and combine some accessories so we can have a slightly added chance of beating Skeletron within the next 14 months, maybe, if the playthrough goes slightly efficiently. To no one's surprise, the Goblin Cuck is just sitting completely tied up waiting for someone to free him. We lug a fat one on his bald ass head and then we buy everything that we could need from his shop. At our base, we then combine our accessories using our Anklet of the Wind and our green Hermes boots to make lightning boots. It is technically like what, 25% plant? So it still counts. We continually re-roll for warding so that we can actually tank more than 2 shots from a goddamn boss without having to worry and sweat our balls off. We will also settle for menacing though if it ever decides to roll itself within the next 20 years, but you know, that's just wishful thinking. On our way back to the Skeletron arena, we notice that it is raining slime for some unknown reason from the sky. That means King Slime is near once we finish this little event. This will give us the golden opportunity to mark off another boss from our checklist. At the end of the event, we notice his blue slime paparazzi waiting for him, so we dispatch them and tell them all to get real jobs. King Slime is angered by this and makes his appearance at long last, but he is simply no match for the power of plants. Our planty weapons and accessories make short work of him and send him back to hell where he belongs. We also go out of our way to defeat the Queen Bee just so we can say that we did it and that we have completed every single boss before Skeletron. We set up and finish our arena, then spawn her in. We mainly just have to dodge Her Majesty's headbutting rampage and use our Thorn Chakram and Blade of Grass when she is hovering within reach to dish out massive amounts of damage to finish the job. With Queen Bee defeated, there's now only Skeletron and the Wall of Flesh in a way between us and hard mode. We use some of the wax Queen Bee dropped to create a Hornet Staff, which is a yellow flower and therefore a legal plant weapon. So, with all of our preparations finished, it's time for a rematch against the Big Boner himself. This time, we make it our goal to specifically focus on dodging and target each one of his gripping grabbers with our Thorn Chakram. We whittle them down to the best of our abilities slowly but surely, each hand falls one by one. Once we have deprived Skeletron of his ability to goon out, he starts spitting out skulls at us. Clearly, this man has been watching that Hawk Tuah podcast, because they just keep on coming. At many points during the fight, it gets unreasonably close. This man has mastered the ability to edge others, and we are feeling the heat. Holy shit! Please! Damn, how do you fucking dodge these? Channeling every moment of our life for this moment, we unleash our full planty wrath upon Mr. Bone Man to defeat him and claim our well-deserved win. Let's fucking go! Yatta! With that old gooner defeated, we can now enter his goon dungeon. And boy, does it fucking stink in here. This man does not do any cleaning nor pay for the fucking electric bill. I'm down here for a Murasama, but I won't complain about finding you, milady. We are reminded that we cannot have any fun at all in the dungeon by every little thing that could possibly inconvenience us, such as bleeding to death, spikes, or skeletons. We are only here for one single item. We want a Murasama, not a goddamn Agua Scepter. We want a Murasama. We want to use it for the crafting recipe of the Knight's Edge. Thankfully, it doesn't take 2 trillion years for once to find a Murasama, and we actually get it on our second chest. While we're at it, we crafted the Light's Bane just so we can have it whenever we need to craft the Knight's Edge. We then get to work on a Elevator so we can go extract all of Hell for its natural resources and get going on an epic Hellstone mining session for that volcano and better tools. After removing the largest lava pool in the history of Terraria, we're able to make it down to Hell and we can start our grind. Hell is a dark and desolate place, yet it's kind of a perfect spot for a gamer just like ourselves to do all the dirty little work that we need to. We sip down an obsidian skin potion and mine our little hearts out, getting as much hellstone as we could possibly find. We also grab some obsidian from water that dropped on the world's largest lava pool from earlier, and we're able to make all of the little items and trinkets that we need. We make ourselves a molten fiery greatsword, a molten pickaxe, and a molten ham axe. With everything from hell that we needed now crafted up, we grab all of the swords from our piggy bank, and then we head over to the corrupt sand biome to find a demon altar so that we could shove all these swords right inside of it and create a Knight's Edge. Now, I'm no mathematician, but according to my calculations here, the Knight's Edge should be at least 25% plant, so it should be legal to use. And don't worry, I'm not just gonna turn this into a melee sword playthrough. I do have plans to get more plant weapons, however, there was just a very severe limited amount of them in early game. We go back down to Hell and start building our Wall of Flesh platform. While making our platform, we were lucky enough to drop an obsidian rose from a dumb imp, and that is gonna be a great accessory down here. After we build ourselves a decent length platform, we buff up and start our first Wall of Flesh fight. It goes pretty well at first, but the Wall of Flesh has been practicing his laser beam trick shots, and he wipes us out of existence. We do not fare much better on our second attempt either, dying very fast. We noticed that maybe just a little bit of speed and extra buff stations would help, so we grab everything we have from our chests and throw it down. Sunflowers, campfires, and heart lanterns, along with extra buffs that we can possibly make from potions. Yet still, it seems like we are just unable to get the DPS to finish him off. Has the power of plants finally reached its limit, or will we be able to prevail in one last all-in attempt with every single potion and buff we could possibly have in a pre-hard mode? The Balls of Flesh makes his grand appearance, ready to stink up all of Hell with his gross, fleshy must. Ugh. Our Knight's Edge and Jungle Armor hold out to the best of their limited DPS and defensive abilities. Our accessories are far from enviable, but we have got to make do. We focus more on the don't get railed by laser beams method and consistently jump and use our boot supply just high enough to dodge each attack, all while slowly lowering his HP more and more. Every time a mere atom of our body touches the Wall of Flesh, we lose a ridiculous amount of our health and the fight gets closer and closer, all the way up until... Yes! I fucking did it! Oh! Oh my fucking goodness. With the Balls of Flesh now defeated, we rightfully open its bag and get a lovely demon heart for an extra accessory which will have limited use. We then go on an ultra smashing spree to summon Cobalt, Orichalcum, and Titanium into our world. We can now also get wings. As I said in the start of the playthrough in the rules, any accessory that is plant green is allowed to be used, and wings are classified as an accessory. One problem, there is not a single plant wing in this game that is obtainable pre-Plantera that can be used under the green or planty restraints, so I will make one singular compromise for this video. Wings, as long as they are dyed plant green, will be legal to use until we can get the plant wings after Plantera. I do understand if this is slightly frustrating for some people, since understandably, it is not technically a plant, nor is it actually originally plant green. But we will make it our absolute goal to get the plant wings as soon as possible from Plantera. After driving harpies to near extinction, we get all the ingredients needed to make harpy wings. Then, we head back down to engage in an epic hard mode ore mining session, so we can have all the materials for a hard mode forge, hard mode anvil, and craft our wings. We craft up our green dye to make things a little more planty, and throw on our luscious green wings. Oh, yes, ladies, this is all green natural plant harpy leather. With all of pre-hard mode conquered, we can now get to work on preparing a mech arena and get ready for the next chapter of this video. Our next goal is to get the banana rank, since attempting to fight any other boss past this point with only the Knight's Edge will be far less than ideal. Primarily due to an extreme lack of defensive abilities from our current armor set. We hide in our Coward Pyramid farm for 4 days, waiting for blood moons and clowns to spawn. Every clown only has a 10% chance to drop a banana ring, and it took 8 clowns in total before the banana ring finally dropped. With our new weapon, we can unleash some planty banana ranga-tanga banga mayhem on some mechanical bosses, specifically the Eye of Cthulhu twins first, since I thought they would be the easiest of the bunch to take out. Boy, was I wrong. We die over and over and over again until finally defeating these goddamn floating eyeballs. Thankfully, we do far better versus Skeletron since all of his attacks aside from one single laser beam cannon are melee and we're able to dodge most of his abilities. We keep him just far enough so our Bananarang can whack on his Chrome Dome and ensure we stay on top of this fight. Once Skeletron Prime surrenders to our Banana's overwhelming might, we decide to check in on the jungle for some life fruits. I must be wearing the wrong colors in this neighborhood because every single creature and their mom pulls up to remove me from this crib. When it comes to the Destroyer, I convert to French because I just cannot resist a good cheese. We throw the Rang down from the safety of our Destroyer Coward cheese box and secure the epic gamer victory that we so epically deserve. Using the scraps of the mechanical boss's bodies, we make a new pickaxe and a true knight's edge. We then go into life-crippling debt reforging it to try to get a good modifier until finally settling on Savage. With our new pickaxe, we go on an epic chlorophyte mining session, because this naturally grown plant-like ore will become our new armor set in the future. We also make sure to grab any life fruit we find along the way. We craft up our final set of planty armor and get ready to take on the big planty mama in the jungle. Oh yes ladies, I am compensating for something below the waist. While in the jungle, we also get a lucky drop and obtain the Yelets, which is a hard mode yo-yo with some planty vines on it, and it absolutely shreds. After locating Plantera's pink and soft bulb, take that in any way that you want, we create an arena to fight the big plant mama. We inform everyone's favorite plant cougar that Waffle Time will be in the upstairs bedroom waiting for her, and she immediately shows up to the function. She is a bit outrageous and wants nothing to do with us because we are in the way of the staircase. We want all of her planty goodness before she goes up for that good time upstairs. We offer her our long yellow Bananarang, but still nothing we try gets her to budge. And one last Hail Mary we offer that would front the bill on one of her many child support payments if she lets us get the win in some plant goodies from her goodie bag. She happily accepts our offer, not telling us the important detail that it would cost at least $2,000, but hey, we have our goodie bag. We walk away with a Temple Key and Spore Sack, which is the last planty-like accessory we can obtain in this video. We also buy some leaf wings from the Witch Doctor and get rid of these fake-ass wannabe plant harpy wings. Now, we have truly embraced the power of plant. This is realistically as powerful and as planted up as we will get in this entire video, and it has taken quite a long way to get here, so if you're liking the video, be sure to like and subscribe. It will help me out a lot. After that cringe, shameless self-plug, we decide to go into the temple as a punishment, both for ourselves and for progression. The same spiel as every other boss, we make an arena and get ready to shove our plant weapons up Golem's rocky ass. The fight goes just as you'd expect. Golem on his own isn't that hard of a boss to fight, even with challenge restrictions. We make short work of Golem's left and right fists of fury and proceed to target his head. Golem then unfortunately tells us there will be no head tonight. What? But that's the only reason why he came down here. Sucks to suck. And I will not be sucking. You lying monster! You get what you deserve. We're in the endgame now. The Goon Dungeon has been empty for quite a while, and it's been taken over by goddamn Reddit mods. We quickly dispatch the mods, and then they summon the goddamn admin. Oh, fuck. He bans us very quickly after learning what we did to his mods. We ban Evade with an alternate account, and then fight him again. The lunatic admin uses every last drop of Reddit knowledge he's learned over the last 2 decades to summon a ridiculous amount of spells to impale us with. Just look at what is happening on the screen and tell me this is a reasonable amount of spells to dodge. Despite our skill issue complaints, we have one tool up our sleeve, one kryptonite so powerful it would atomize any Redditor where he stands. We brought a woman to the fight. Every time we get low, we hit up the nurse to heal us and are kept standing in this fight. The mere sight of this woman causes the lunatic cultist to spontaneously combust and release the pillars into the world. After trying and miserably failing at the solar pillar, we decide that it might be time to get better weapons than the Bananarang. We head back into the dungeon to farm ectoplasm to create Frost Moon and Pumpkin Moon event summons. Our goal now is to get the Flying Broom mount from the Halloween event, along with the Pine Razor and Christmas Tree Sword from the Christmas event. All of these are made from plants or appear planty in design, and they are the last choices of true endgame weapons we can use. We start by spawning up the Frost Moon and start cutting down all of the hordes of monsters that are thrown our way. Every time one of these prickly tree fucks spawn in, we start chucking our bananas at it. We try to our damn best ability to dodge all of the massive amounts of hellfire these things can spawn in for some reason. When we aren't getting treed to death, we find that the drop rates are decently forgiving and we're able to sweep most of the event until they spawn at least 2,000 different mobs on top of our base. We eventually get the Razor Pine to drop and can finally move on from this dumbass belated Christmas holiday. We also craft up the Mage version helmet for our Chlorophyte armor set and begin an endless amount of reforging on our weapons. One would think, after getting all these new and awesome weapons at our disposal, the next event would be slightly more tolerable, but you would be wrong. While the weapons are great at destroying massive amounts of mobs, they are not the best at keeping us alive from a giant fucking tree that can rain fire from the heavens. After fighting for our life for the entire event, we were lucky enough to have the broom drop on around the 15th wave. We died enough times on this event alone to create an entire graveyard biome, which surely must be a sign that Moonlord will be easier. We run into our first pillar, the Nebula pillar, and immediately hear all the cries within it, saying it's the best pillar in the game. I spit in its direction and unleash my Razor Pine with full force until it shrivels to dust. We all know the solar pillar is the best. We head deeper and reach the jungle and notice a very unwanted guest is here, the Vortex pillar, and all of her Ranger simps can be heard echoing around it. Ranger class is the best! Ugh. Nasty creatures. It doesn't take long to run into the Stardust Pillar, which is an honorable second place, featuring a very base playstyle, which supports the underrated Summoner class. We put it to rest with respect and dignity. At long last, we run into the best pillar in the game. The Solar Pillar is truly an unmatchable pinnacle of gaming design, featuring some of the best weapons known to Terraria and supporting the best class in the game. We shed a tear as our favorite pillar is shred down to its last atom. We teleport to our grand showdown arena. We wait. And wait. The Squidlord makes his grand appearance and the epic battle begins to ensue. We give it our all. We throw everything we have at him, but we fail. We fail again. And again. And again. It seems hopeless. Could the power of plants finally have reached its limit? We focus down each eyeball the best we can, utilizing our Razor Pine's high DPS to inflict fast but devastating damage onto the Moonlord. One by one, we wither down each eyeball until it pops out of his slimy, squiddy sockets. And with that, his heart is exposed, the weak point! We carefully snipe it with our Razor Pine, and whenever we take brutal damage, we run back to the nurse to cry about our boo-boos and then ask her why she is even charging us money for a heal when we are fighting to save the literal world. The fight has its very close moments, but we still fight on. Yes, let's fucking go! Let's fucking go! I'm fucking done with this. Holy shit! That was like the 19th fucking try. Yes! And with that, the challenge is complete. Yes, it is possible to beat Terraria with only plants. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please consider subscribing, liking the video, and commenting what you thought about it. It will really help me out. I hope to have more challenges like this posted in the future, so be sure when you subscribe to hit that bell notification to know when the next video drops. So, with all that said, I'll see you all in the next one.